Howdy everyone, I'm the Blastoise Squad leader, and I'm here to present my review on Super Mario Odyssey. Now, before I start, I would like to note something. Unlike many people who are playing this game, I grew up with Super Mario Galaxy rather than Mario 64. And while I enjoyed Mario 64, I much preferred Galaxy. I loved its orchestrated music and cinematic experiences, which as a whole made the game a whole lot more epic. Anyway, what I just said doesn't really matter much because I love this game. And what better way to show my appreciation than to explain all of the things that make it awesome. First of all, major spoiler warning. I'm serious, go play this game right now before watching this. Without further ado, let's go. The story. As to be expected, Super Mario Odyssey has a simple story. Bowser kidnaps Peach and Mario has to rescue her. But like Super Mario Galaxy, there's a little bit more to it, with Bowser trying to force Peach into marrying him. While at first this doesn't seem like that much of a big difference, it really helps with the feeling of worry. Also, because Bowser wants something from every kingdom, it gives you a reason as to why you should be there in the first place. It's also a clever way to make everything feel connected, with the exception of special kingdoms that have their own thing going on. As for the characters, they have a lot more personality this time, not only in the cutscenes but also in the animations and gameplay. The first time I saw Mario worries for the Bonitons, I actually felt bad for them too. Oh, and don't even get me started on Bowser. This time he is very intimidating, and you can actually see him as a threat. Sure, in the end they treat him like his old goofy self, but it's after beating him, so it doesn't matter that much. Even Princess Peach herself is a little bit more interesting, having an actual personality rather than just screaming for help. Overall, while the story itself isn't that great, it's filled with personality and charm, which makes it great. The Kingdoms. Being the main parts of these games, the kingdoms are quite large and fun to explore. They all vary in many things such as currency, industry, size, and locals. Of course, some kingdoms are more fun than others, but I really love them all. I especially enjoyed the segment that contained Pauline's song, the battle against the Lord of Lightning, and Bowser's Kingdom. It's also very interesting to read the brochures. They contain information about every location and look like actual brochures for a vacation. They also bring up some interesting lore for the wedding planners as well as the Ruined Kingdom. However, there are some things that I didn't enjoy. In particular, the small kingdoms. With the Cap and Cascade Kingdom, I can understand why. After all, they are the tutorial levels. But it's very underwhelming seeing the Snow or Ruined Kingdom, which has so much potential, in such an enclosed space. There is also the problem of too many kingdoms being shown off in previews and directs, which I acknowledge that's not a problem with the game itself, but it is with how it was handled in marketing. Seriously, the Bowser Kingdom is one of my favorites simply because I hadn't seen it before. Overall, most of the kingdoms are awesome and are reminiscent of previous Mario's entries. However, some kingdoms suffer from being too small and short. Luckily, the gameplay is just as good, if not even better. The gameplay. The gameplay is probably one of the best aspects of Mario Odyssey. The movements are very fluid and fast, and they are very similar to Super Mario Sunshine. There are a lot of things that you can do and a lot of options as well, but it never feels overly complicated. However, there is one issue, and that's the overabundance of motion controls. They are everywhere, and it can get irritating if you don't like them. Some moves like the up grab throw are exclusive to motion controls, and it's especially infuriating in handheld mode, because throwing your $300 console to the side isn't exactly fun. Luckily, the controls are needed, but you are going to have a little bit of trouble getting some moons. Besides the motion and normal controls, there's also the main gimmick of the game, the capture mechanic. And this is by far one of the most awesome mechanics in a Mario game. You can be a Goomba stacked up onto another Goomba stacked up onto another Goomba. You can be a Hammer Bro. You can be a piece of meat. All of the captures feel natural yet different. and could also make their own game if they were stretched out a bit more. For example, when you capture a Shermie, the game suddenly turns into a first-person shooter. This power also provides you with one of the most awesome video game moments that you will experience, which you all know what it is. I can happily say that, although the controls suffer a bit, the gameplay is still very strong and will provide you with hours of fun. My final thoughts. Well, we have jumped through paintings, we have been on an island, we have gone through space, and yet I believe that this adventure is the best one of the bunch. It's an amalgamation of the best parts of each 3D Mario entry, providing open sandbox worlds, fluid movements, and awesome cinematic presentation. There's even some references to the 3D Land and World games. Still, I am a bit disappointed, especially towards the small size of certain kingdoms and the lack of new ones that weren't already shown off. And yet, even if this game has its own problems, the magic moments that you will have throughout make it a must-buy game for the year. So if you or a loved one likes Mario, you're making a mistake by not buying it for the holidays. This was the Plastic Squad Leader, and I will see you in my next review.